Artificial intelligence has been a crucial tool for many nations' militaries for years. Militaries are using AI today and ahead to how it might be used in the future.
In the grand tapestry of human history, few forces have shaped the rise and fall of nations more profoundly than technology. From the earliest metal blades to the most advanced precision-guided munitions, these leaps forward have turned underdogs into victors and toppled seemingly invincible empires. Join us as we examine 10 pivotal battles where the power of invention and tactical brilliance converged, forever altering the fate of civilizations. Battle of Marathon, 490 BCE. Our first stop is ancient Greece, where the dusty plains of Marathon became the stage for a defining moment in Western civilization. In 490 BCE, the vast armies of Persia landed on Greek soil, expecting a swift victory. Their reputation was fearsome, bolstered by countless conquests stretching from the Indus Valley to Egypt. But standing in their path were the disciplined hoplites of Athens. These citizen soldiers wore heavy bronze helmets, breastplates, and greaves, making them formidable in close combat. Their long spears and round shields, known as aspides, were key to the phalanx formation, a veritable wall of iron that advanced as one unit. Despite being outnumbered, the Greeks leveraged their superior armor and unyielding discipline. When they charged, their unified front proved impenetrable to Persia's lighter-armed troops. By day's end, the proud Persian force was forced into retreat. The victory at Marathon not only safeguarded Athenian democracy, but also became a timeless lesson in how strategic innovation, coupled with unwavering morale, can overcome numerical might. Battle of Hastings, 1066 CE. Leap forward a millennium to 1066, the year England changed hands in a single, decisive confrontation. After King Harold rushed south from defeating a Norwegian invasion, he raced to meet another threat on the Sussex coast, Duke William of Normandy. The battlefield near Hastings set the stage for a clash between two distinct combat philosophies. The Saxons relied on their time-honored shield wall, a solid line of foot soldiers that presented a nearly impassable barrier. But William introduced a tactical blend of archers and cavalry, rarely seen in England. Norman archers peppered the Saxons with volleys of arrows, sowing confusion, while mounted knights charged gaps in the shield wall. This combination of ranged and shock warfare gradually eroded the Saxon defense, culminating in King Harold's death and the complete collapse of his forces. With that triumph, William earned the epithet the Conqueror, and feudal Norman culture fused with Saxon traditions, shaping the English kingdom for centuries to come. Siege of Constantinople, 1453 CE. For over 1,000 years, Constantinople stood as the crown jewel of the Byzantine Empire. Its formidable Theodosian walls had repelled invaders time and again, safeguarding a city that bridged two continents. But in 1453, the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II arrived at the gates with something the walls had never faced: gargantuan siege cannons. Chief among these was the Great Turkish Bombard, a massive artillery piece capable of firing stone projectiles weighing hundreds of pounds. Day after day, these cannons shook the very foundations of Constantinople's defenses. Chunks of wall, once deemed invulnerable, crumbled under sustained bombardment. Inside the city, the defenders fought bravely, but they were overwhelmed by the Ottomans' relentless assaults and superior firepower. When the walls finally fell, it marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and a watershed moment in military history, the ascendance of gunpowder artillery as the ultimate siege weapon. From then on, no fortress, no matter how ancient or formidable, could stand indefinitely against advanced firepower. Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, 1519 to 1521. In the early 16th century, the Aztec Empire reigned over much of Mesoamerica, renowned for its towering pyramids, vibrant culture, and formidable armies. But in 1519, their world collided with the ambitions of Hernán Cortés and his band of conquistadors. Equipped with steel swords and breastplates, firearms, crossbows, and, most terrifying of all for the Aztecs, horses, the Spaniards represented an altogether new form of warfare. Beyond technology, Cortés formed alliances with rival tribes that chafed under Aztec rule. He exploited these internal divisions and combined them with the devastating power of gunpowder weaponry. Even more fatefully, European-born diseases like smallpox ravaged the local population, weakening Aztec resistance. By 1521, Tenochtitlan, once one of the largest cities in the world, lay in ruins, marking the downfall of the Aztec Empire and the beginning of Spanish domination in the New World. It was a stark testament to how technological and biological factors can upend civilizations in just a few short years. The Spanish Armada, 1588. In the late 16th century, Spain stood as the preeminent global power, its empire enriched by gold and silver from the Americas. Determined to bring England to heel, King Philip II dispatched the Spanish Armada, an immense fleet of heavily armed galleons. These warships were floating fortresses, bristling with cannons, though they were cumbersome to maneuver. England's response was a masterclass in naval innovation. Commanders like Lord Howard of Effingham and Sir Francis Drake deployed smaller, faster ships that could dart around the lumbering Spanish vessels. Armed with longer-range naval artillery, the English pounded the Armada from a distance. Adding to Spain's woes, storms disrupted their formation, driving many galleons onto hostile coastlines. The defeat of the Spanish Armada did more than just preserve Elizabethan England. It shifted maritime power toward the English, paving the way for centuries of British naval dominance. Battle of Waterloo, 1815. By the early 19th century, Napoleon Bonaparte had forged an empire spanning much of Europe. In 1815, after returning from exile on Elba, he rallied France once more in a bid to reclaim his power. At Waterloo, just miles from Brussels, his destiny would be decided. Napoleon's artillery was legendary. His grand battery could pulverize enemy lines with relentless barrages. But the Duke of Wellington's allied forces, drawn from Britain, the Netherlands, and various German states, were trained to stand firm under heavy fire. At critical moments, Wellington's men formed infantry squares, an innovative defensive formation that repelled cavalry charges and allowed them to concentrate musket fire. Then, the timely arrival of the Prussian army sealed Napoleon's fate, overwhelming French forces from another flank. Waterloo not only ended Napoleon's rule, but also reset Europe's political stage for generations to come. It underscored the indispensable role of disciplined infantry, well-coordinated artillery, and timing in the outcome of a battle. Battle of Antietam, 1862. The American Civil War saw the dawn of modern weaponry colliding head-on with outdated tactics. By 1862, rifled muskets using the mini-ball had drastically increased firearms range and accuracy, rendering tightly packed lines of troops even more vulnerable. At Antietam Creek in Maryland, Union forces under General McClellan and Confederate forces under General Lee clashed in what remains the bloodiest single day in American history. The fighting raged in the cornfield along a sunken lane forever etched in memory as Bloody Lane, and at Burnside's Bridge, where men fought tooth and nail for every inch of ground. These rifled muskets wrought terrible casualties, as soldiers on both sides were slow to adapt their formations. Although neither side could claim a definitive triumph by the day's end, Antietam provided President Lincoln the confidence to issue the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, shifting the war's purpose and international perception. The ghastly toll served as a stark reminder that technology's brutal efficiency was forever changing warfare. Battle of Britain, 1940.
Summer 1940, the United Kingdom is gripped by the fear of a German invasion. France has been defeated, and a German air and seaborne assault on the British Isles looks imminent. As both Britain and Germany scramble to prepare, their air forces fight for control over the skies of Britain. For Germany, victory is essential for an amphibious landing. But even if they do win, could Germany ever really invade Great Britain?
In the summer of 1940, the world witnessed a battle fought primarily in the air. The German Luftwaffe targeted Britain's airfields and cities, seeking to pave the way for an invasion codenamed Operation Sea Lion. But the British had a trump card: radar technology. Strategically placed radar stations along the coast fed real-time information to Fighter Command, allowing them to dispatch Spitfires and Hurricanes precisely where they were needed. These aircraft became legends in their own time. The Spitfire was agile and swift, while the Hurricane was rugged and easier to produce. Coupled with resolute pilots from across the Commonwealth and beyond, the Royal Air Force held firm, denying Germany the crucial air superiority it needed. The Battle of Britain was a testament to the power of innovation and the indomitable spirit of the few, confirming that the control of the skies would be a crucial factor in modern warfare. D-Day, 1944. 4 years into World War II, the Allies prepared for the most ambitious amphibious assault in history. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, a massive armada converged on the Normandy coastline, carrying troops, tanks, and supplies destined to breach Hitler's vaunted Atlantic Wall. Overhead, fleets of transport planes dropped paratroopers deep in enemy territory to secure vital roads and bridges. Engineers in specialized tanks, nicknamed Hobart's Funnies, took on obstacles like barbed wire and anti-tank defenses. Naval guns thundered from offshore, pounding German bunkers perched on the cliffs. At beaches code-named Omaha, Utah, Gold, Juno, and Sword, Allied infantry waded ashore under withering fire. Despite heavy casualties, they established a foothold by nightfall. This remarkable feat of planning, logistics, and technology cracked open Western Europe's front door, setting the stage for the liberation of France and, ultimately, Nazi Germany's collapse. Gulf War, 1990 to 1991. Our final chapter takes us to the Middle East at the close of the 20th century, when Iraq invaded Kuwait. A US-led coalition mobilized to expel Saddam Hussein's forces. The resulting Gulf War showcased revolutionary military hardware and doctrines. Stealth aircraft like the F-117 Nighthawk slipped through radar defenses, while satellite-guided missiles precisely destroyed strategic targets. Real-time battlefield intelligence allowed coalition leaders to adjust tactics rapidly, a major evolution from earlier conflicts where days or even weeks might pass before reports were processed. The swift downfall of the Iraqi forces underscored how advances in technology, particularly in surveillance, coordination, and precision weaponry, had irrevocably changed the face of war. It foreshadowed an era where information would be as critical a weapon as any bomb or bullet. Through these 10 defining engagements, we see how the relentless march of technology can turn the tide in an instant, or shape entire centuries. From bronze lances to radar screens, cannons to precision-guided missiles, each innovation left an indelible mark on the battlefield and on history itself. Which of these milestones resonates most with you? Did the thunderous cannons at Constantinople echo the loudest? Or did the stealth bombers of the Gulf War herald a new era of warfare? Share your thoughts below, and remember to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the moments that forged our world. Thanks for watching.